Hello and welcome to yet another episode of The High Roads. We are really excited to be back after a brief hiatus with yet another wonderful destination. This trip was truly special for us as we were joined by our parents who were visiting Ajanta and Ellora for the very first time. The Ellora caves, and particularly the Kailasa cave temple, are something of an architectural and engineering marvel. The ensemble of 34 caves at Ellora can be broadly categorized into Brahmanical, Buddhist and Jain caves that were built between 6th century and 12th century CE. The crown jewel of the Ellora temple complex is the Kailasa temple and was commissioned by the kings of Rashtakuta dynasty. The ornate and intricate carvings on the walls of the temple are but an absolute treat to an appreciative eye. The temple is said to have been carved top to bottom out of a monolith rock. But what captures you is the vision of the master architect whose imagination is reflected in the grandeur of the monument. Much like many temples in India, even Ellora bears the brunt of careless vandalism and destruction that of course began with the Mughal kings but continues even today. The caves of Ajanta are among the most precious architectural and artistic gems of India. Richly painted walls of these rock-cut caves are home to some of the most iconic Buddhist art. For those of you unfamiliar with Buddhist architecture, the caves of Ajanta, and also Ellora for that matter, can be broadly classified into two types. Chaitya grihas or chaitya are monasteries used for worship, and sangharamas or viharas were used as living quarters used by the Buddhist monks. As you can imagine, the chaityas are more richly carved and painted as opposed to viharas that have a more functional rectangular design. The work on these caves began in 2nd century BCE, and the last of the caves were built in the 6th century CE. One can observe two distinct styles of art here, one dominated by the Hinayana sect of Buddhism and the other by the Mahayana sect. It is absolutely amazing to observe how these two distinct Buddhist philosophies find a way of expression in their art and architecture. Hinayana followers worshipped Buddha in an iconic or symbolic form, and therefore Chaitya have a stupa as the object of worship. Being the earliest of caves, the Hinayana caves are more simple and carry fewer paintings. The Mahayana followers worshipped Buddha in an iconic or ideal form. As a result of the caves built during the Mahayana phase are more ornate with richly painted mural paintings of Buddha in human form. Also, Mahayana caves were built in the later years, demonstrating sophisticated painting techniques being used to depict stories from the Jataka tales. The story goes that in the year 1819, a British cavalry officer by name John Smith accidentally discovered the hidden caves during his hunt. Marveled at his discovery, the proud John Smith left his engraved signature on one of the murals in a rather distasteful manner. Or shall we simply call it as the first recorded event of vandalism in Ajanta? Nevertheless, even today, Ajanta and Ellora stand tall among the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in India, singing the tale of their rich glory to those who can appreciate and even to those who cannot.